I'm Gideon Rachman, and even more important, she is Lucy Kellaway, who has just shocked the world of FT readers by announcing that after 31 years, Lucy is intending to leave and become a teacher, retrain as a teacher. So why?
31 years is a hell of a long time. I mean, you know, it's even in a job that you really, really do like, and I've had a great time at the FT, but I don't want to do one thing all my life. Why should I be just a columnist all my life? So if I was going to do it, I'm now 57 and will be 58 in September. I thought I really better get on with it and have a good second crack at my second career. And we'll live forever. We'll probably live till we're about 100, so and work till our mid-70s. So I don't see this as something I'm doing for 5 minutes. I plan to have a good whack at it.
You've got a lot of applause for this, and it is a kind of rather noble gesture, but you're going from a job which is really fun, quite well paid, to something that's going to be a real slog and much less well paid. Are you sure it's a good idea?
Well, am I sure? No, of course I'm not sure. We're never sure, but that's part of the fun of it. I mean, I'm at a point in my life where I can take risks. You know, I don't have a mortgage on my house. As I said, I've been at the FT absolutely forever. So why shouldn't I try again? And also there's this thing which is slightly embarrassing given that I've spent my whole life being sarky. I mean, I'm trying to avoid using the phrase, give something back, because it's so awful. But I would like to do something useful, and there's not much more useful than teaching maths. And if I can actually make a plug, what I'm doing, this isn't just me, you know, so elderly columnist becomes maths teacher, that's no story. But the interesting thing that I'm doing is I've co-founded a charity called Now Teach, which is aiming to get all of the other people who are roughly, you know, maybe in their 40s or 50s, who have had it with their careers, to think about teaching too.
Will you continue to write articles for the FT?
The answer is yes, but not very often, because teaching is a very hard job. I made the huge mistake in something that I wrote saying that I'd be writing in the long holidays, which make teachers absolutely furious. I wasn't implying that teaching is a doddle, but it is a fact that there are 13 weeks of holiday if you're a teacher in a state school, and that will give me time to pen the odd piece for the FT.
Yeah, I mean, I think one of the things that strikes me about this, that, I mean, I know we want to resist words like brave and all that, but the FT is kind of a rarefied atmosphere. You're with very similar people, you're mixing often with quite powerful people. You're now moving out into what some people refer to as the real world. Are you sure you'll like the real world?
Well, again, I'll tell you in a year's time. But actually, you know, one can have a bit too much of the unreal world. It has been great, but I do spend most of my time talking to people like you, Gideon, who are sort of pretty much the same as me. And the thought that my new colleagues will, they'll be about my children's age, and they'll come from, some of them may come from backgrounds that are different to mine. I welcome it, bring it on.
A lot of what you do is, I can't think of a better phrase than taking the piss out of corporate jargon. It seems to me that teaching is quite kind of jargon-filled. There's a lot of rules you have to follow. You're not a great rule follower. I worry that you're going to immediately go into sort of open revolt against the kind of politically correct environment that is perhaps necessary, but that you will be working in.
Well, I've already completely put my foot in it on the Today programme this morning by uttering the dread word headmaster. Yeah. Whoops. So there are no headmasters. I deeply apologise for that. I am learning. I will always call them head teachers here on in. Yeah, I'm sure I'll get into trouble, but I will try and learn. I will try and learn. And as for taking the piss out of things, I may be a sarky teacher. I had a couple of sarky teachers when I was at school. I really loved them.